A gambler in Kenya has killed 2 casino managers after losing his money. Police say the Tanzanian man who had lost $300 was later stoned to death by a mob. The incident happened at a casino in Nairobi's Eastleigh district. Well, that story is very closely related to our next one because online sports gambling and betting has taken Kenya by storm, with thousands of people now participating in weekly multi-million shilling jackpots. Online and mobile betting sites are barely 2 years old in the country, but have now overtaken traditional casinos and betting houses in both client numbers and revenue. Economists predict the gambling industry will be worth more than $50 million within the next 3 years. The BBC's Emmanuel Igunza has been finding out what's driving the trend.
Under the scorching sun in a low-income area of Nairobi, a group of young men discussed the latest craze in town. Each one here hoping to win millions in online betting. All they need is a basic mobile phone and as little as $1 to take part in any of these dozen or so platforms now available on the market. They can place bets on matches from the local soccer leagues, top European teams, and even the less-known ones from Asia and the Middle East. Fanuel Kadenge has been a cobbler and shoe shiner for more than 5 years. He earns the equivalent of just $10 each day. But that doesn't stop this staunch football fan from betting 5 times a week, even when he knows he can barely afford it.
Your luck can be delayed, but if it's your luck, it will happen. I will continue betting. Many people are trying. When it's time for my luck, I will win.
Such is the financial muscle of the players that one company of the weekend organized a gambling festival. Participants enjoyed a musical treat from Kenya's top artists and hourly cash prizes of up to $500. This was once a thriving casino right here in the middle of the city. Its doors are now closed because it's facing huge competition from the online and mobile-based betting services. Despite the millions of dollars involved in this industry, analysts are warning that the country is facing an even bigger problem.
So that the Kenyans and other people...
Sami Wambogo is a psychologist dealing with people with various addictions. He tells me the country is now dangerously moving towards developing a gambling problem.
It's a growing industry. It will be there. It's based on people being or wanting to get much more too soon. And therefore they're willing to risk their resources and themselves and to be part of the game. It's a game of chance, you know, and you hear people along the way saying, oh, I have my winning numbers. I have my way I play in the morning. I have my luck Wednesdays. I mean, people come to think that way, to rationalize a game of chance. It doesn't work.
Cautious words that many Kenyans are choosing to ignore in their pursuit of becoming the country's next millionaires. Emmanuel Igunza, BBC News, Nairobi.
Well, it's not just Kenya that has seen a rise in online betting. Across the continent, Nigeria too is witnessing something of a boom. Thompson Eja runs one such betting firm in Nigeria called Plenty Millions. He joins us now from Lagos. Thompson, we just heard that story from Nairobi about the man who lost $300 and killed 2 employees of the betting firm. That's one of the reasons why people think gambling is a social problem.
That's really very unfortunate. We don't want to see incidents like that. But I think what has to happen in a growing industry of this nature is that we need to, the industry needs to look at the data and try to discover trends and find out if there are challenges and use the data found out to use and try and mitigate challenges of this nature. We don't want people shouldn't overindulge, whether it's in the gaming industry or in any form of industry. But the reality really is, if you take a place...
Yeah, I was just going to come in there and say that. You say people should not overindulge. You operate primarily in Nigeria. I mean, do you have any safety nets in Nigeria to, you know, to help people with addictive personalities or people who've lost all their money?
Well, here's what we do. I can tell you what we do in my organization. We look at the data and we try to find out patterns of folks that are spending way too much money in our industry and call them up and say, listen, you need to turn it down. And if you don't, really, we'll disable you from playing on our platform. We can't, you know, you cannot litigate or control people's actions of choice.
But that's to
So what
say,
we can
that's
do
also
in a
to say
growing
that
industry,
you know it's a problem, because Thompson, you personally don't even like referring to it as gambling. You'd rather call it betting.
Well, I'll call it gaming. I will call it gaming, and gaming is really, it's really, if you want to think about it, it's entertainment for some of us. Okay, football, if you take football for instance, really, it's passion. You know, and people really are staking, are putting a little of their money, you know, into their passion. You know, so yes, there will be challenges. I mean, Peter, I'll say to you like this. If I ask you what are the top 4 really causes of death in the world, one of them is the automobile industry. I mean, people through car accidents die a whole lot in the world. We're not going to ban cars from the roads, but what we're going to try to do is find a way to build cars better to mitigate those risks.
Okay, I mean, Thompson, let's stay with betting. Now, let's just stay with betting. I mean, your company is called Plenty Millions. It's called Plenty Millions. Who makes the Plenty Millions? Is it you, or is it your clients or the punters? Well, you know, there's a law in place, like most places in the world. 50% of the revenue, according to the law, goes back to the players. Okay, this is almost the same thing across the world. In the UK, it's about the same thing, or slightly more in the UK. But I think the bigger thing to understand it's a growing industry. This industry has probably generated the most employment in the past 2.5 years in Nigeria. I mean, we've probably done about 100,000 new jobs in Nigeria. You know, in an environment where jobs are very, very difficult to come by, we have to look at the opportunities and we have to look at the challenges. Okay, I think the opportunities, giving you an opportunity to enjoy your passion, it's not that bad, really. But the key is the industry needs. We do need to look at the data and figure out challenges and try to mitigate those risks. We don't see people losing their lives over Thompson, we have to leave it there. We're running out of time. But thank you very much. Thompson Eja speaking to us live there from Lagos. This is Focus on Africa from BBC World News with me, Peter Okoche. A little later in the program,